2150, it's Fifi. Number 327, Nagi UL. Number 34, Jammin' Jules. Wearing 570, it's Killer Whales. Number 6, Sadistic Mystic. Wearing 626, that's Skata. Number 69, ADHD Rex. Wearing number 79, that's Eraser. Number 86, Tenderizer. And rounding out that roster is number 96, Top Heavy. Running the bench today for Dolls of Destruction is Ebola and Biff Cannon. Let's hear it for the Dolls of Destruction. And your home team today, the ERD All-stars. Starting out with number 10, Scooter. Wearing number 12, that's Godzilla. Number 14 is Britney Spears. Number 18, that's Teaser. Wearing number 24, she's a problem. Number 25 is Dirty Dan. Number 3, Hired Assassin. Wearing 312 is Mitochondria. Wearing 315, that's Interstella. Jackrabbit wearing number 32. 440 is Jill the Beast. She's wearing that C to be our captain for this game tonight. Number 49 is Butch Light. 8675, it's Jenny Rash. Number 94 is French Porn Star. And rounding out that roster is number 68, Panic at the Derby. Running the bench tonight for the All-Stars is Lucretia Rock, Red Alarm Metal, and Goldie Rocks. Let's hear it for your All-Stars! As our teams get to the benches and ready for that first jam, we'd like to thank our officials today. That's David Peckham, Lobo, The Kraken, Ziggy Skullcrush, Alternate, Ogbot, Tag, Fulcrum, Scruff Canuck, Joyride, Siren, Just Tom, Catatonic, Ginger Rail and Velvet Hammer, T-Rex, and Where's Waldo? Keeping score tonight. For those of us for the first time tonight, number one thing you want to know is keep one eye on the skater wearing that star. They're the ones that are going to be flying around this track. Both teams getting those first lines out on the out onto the track. Number 10, Scooter, going to be wearing the star for this first jam for ERD. Number 327, Knocking You Out, wearing the star for Dolls. Just a couple seconds here, we're going to hear that whistle. That is going to start the jam. You're going to see both of those skaters with the stars taking off of that line, trying to fight their way through the pack. Both jammers coming out to get some strong defense here. Knocking going to grab that lead champion status, but Scooter quick on their tail. there. Well, at least grab some points before this jam is over. Good movement back here. Scooter does make it through. That's Naki there right before that all off. Quick high five to that Dolls blocker. He calls out Scooter for a that's going to be 4 points for ERD on that jam. Then number 49, Butch Light back out for ERD wearing that star. And 2150 Phoebe, once again wearing the star for the Dolls. continue to make much progress. See if Butch can get through as one of those balls blockers does pick up a penalty. And Butch does make it through. Going to pick up that lead jammer status for ERD. However, looks like the Tenderizer not too far behind. They're going to sneak around and grab some of these points before Butch can call off this jam. Butch trying to slide through on that outside line, but gets knocked out. Going to pick up some quick points on that inside line and call it as Tenderizer puts that pressure on, making it around that track nice and quick. Looks like Butch picking up 3 points there, able to call it off just before Tenderizer makes it around and makes it any more than $20. call of Godzilla for ERD picking up the penalty. Some offense coming through for ERD. But 36 is out of that box. Little apex jump there. She's going to pick up those 4 points and head around for her next pass. As I said, no heat jammer now, so we will be going for the full 2 minutes. Teams are fighting their way through that pack and able to ground up those 4 points just before that whistle comes to the end of the jam. Another big jam for both teams. ERD picking up 8 points. Dalton Construction picking up 12. Number 18 teaser coming back home on the track for Erie Roller Derby with that star on there. For 21-50, they're going to be wearing that star once again, as well as the instructor. Looks like both of our teams trying to take that front line. Jammer's getting a little bit of a run up here as this jam gets taken off. Teaser finding her way through on the outside line. Coming up the jammer status for Erie Roller Derby. As Phoebe is fighting through that ERD line. Big hit from Dirty Dan getting on her out on that inside. Picking up a hot track penalty. Gonna give Erie Roller Derby a power jam. Teaser with a big hit, eliminating through on that inside line, picking up those 4 points. Big hit from Spilla on Giles. Couple of rockers catching Teaser, but not able to stop her as she does make it on that second scoring pass of this jam. Teaser coming through once again for their next scoring pass. Making big contact with those walkers from Dolls as Phoebe back on the track with that star in her hand. Looking to get it to her pivot, possibly. But finds her way through on that inside line and slap that star back on her head after that initial pass over to grab up some points before the end of this jam. Teaser taking a nice leisurely pace as she is the jammer, going to be in control of this jam. And going to call that off just before Phoebe comes in to pick up many points. Number 14, Brittany Spears coming out once again with that star on her head, matching up against number 86, Tenderizer from the Dolls. Tight pack at the very back on that jam line as this jam is going to get started. Brittany tiptoeing her way through on that inside line. Going to grab on that lead jammer status. As Tenderizer finding her way back to the back of that pack, running into higher assassin. Giving her some strong defense there as Britt does make it through. Going to grab up 4 more points for Erie Roller Derby. Tenderizer with that star off of her head, but still fighting through these ERD blockers. On her initial pass, not going to be getting any points right now as she is trying to make it through for the very first time. Brittany Spears seems to be finding her way through this pack quite quickly, able to squeeze through those blockers in the center there and grab up some more points. Tenderizer hoping to make her way through this pack for the first time, but finding Rabbit as her opposition. Rabbit going to grab up a penalty there for blocking that down. She's a bit too far away from that main pack of skaters. Breaking in a big chase for those walkers from Dolls and finding her way through before that quick call off. Fortunately for the Dolls, not able to pick up any points that jam. Knocking number 327 back out for the Dolls right now, star matching up against number 49, which is Light from Erie Roller Derby. Erie Roller Derby going to be starting 2 walkers now on this jam as we do have our pivot and one of our walkers in the box there. Going to make it quite easy for Naki, or maybe not, as she runs into Jordan Reese and French All-star, who have so far been able to hold her. While Butch Light's still trying to fight through on them on their own to get through these blockers. Number 440, Jordan Reese grabbing up another penalty. And now able to enter that box as Jack Rabbit does stand up. Naki made it through meanwhile from the one blocker of French All-star, who's now trying to play some offense with Butch Light. Naki grabbing up that lead jammer status, grabbing up a quick 4 points on that first scoring pass. As we do have number 69 Panic at the Derby and number 32 Jackrabbit coming in from the penalty box, trying to strengthen that ERD line while Naki is coming around for a second scoring pass. Chase out that pack by number 32 Jackrabbit, but able to make it through, pick up another 4 points. Butch Light finally threw that back on that initial pass. Unfortunately not scoring any points for that tough fight through the pack there, but coming around hoping to grab up some star for the first time today for Erie Roller Derby. We'll be matching up against number 2150 Phoebe as they represent the dolls on the track. Looking back to full strength as this jam kicks off. Phoebe trying to find that inside line, probably looking to the outside line, but both coming up against tough opposition from the opposing team. Big hit from Spilla almost takes Phoebe out, but they are able to stay in as Problem getting run back to the very back of that pack. Spilla and Cheese are going down, letting Phoebe make it through. Problem's got their star off, looking for their pivot, hoping to get a quick pass, but able to make it through on her own and see that star back on her head. As Phoebe does make it through on the first short pass and get a grab of 4 points for the dolls. They were calling it off. Number 6, Temporizers are coming back up for the dolls. Going up against number 14, Brittany Spears, wearing that star for Erie Roller. Quick 5 seconds here, and now whistle is going to set us off. Brittany looking on the outside, Temporizer looking on the inside. We're having some trouble. But Brittany is able to slide around those blockers and pick up that lead in jammer status, while Temporizer is still fighting their way through that pack. Break coming through here for her first score. Pass takes a bit of a tumble there. Putting back up and going back. Unfortunately, they're picking up a cut track penalty going to be heading to the box. That does leave us with no lead jammer for this jam. We'll go for the full 2 minutes. Tenderizer still having some trouble trying to fight their way through these ERD blockers. And picking up a penalty of their own. Once again, folks, what that means is as soon as Tenderizer has a seat there, Brittany will be back up and out of that box. Tenderizer going to hang out in there just as long as Brittany was in there. As you can see, with no jammer, there's not much roller derby to happen. ERD going to throw some offense in there, trying to get Brittany through that pack. And she is able to make it through. Going to grab up 4 points. About 40 seconds left in this jam. No one able to call it off as both of our jammers have picked up penalties. Tenderizer out of the box, back onto the track, hoping to get some quick points here. As Brittany trying to figure out just where she was run back to. Looking like she did make it back into that pack legally. Meanwhile, Tenderizer able to slide through there and get some quick points. Coming in for another scoring pass here. Able to just shoot past Mitochondria on that outside line and pick up those 4 points again. As Britt finds her way through the center of that pack as well. Both of these jammers seeming to be dialed in against these defenses, really understanding how to make their way through. On their helmets. Erie Roller Derby a quick team timeout there. Have a little chat on their bench. Gives our officials just a moment to come in and grab a drink of water. As I said, as fast as our skaters are skating, that's how fast our officials must chase them. Spot the officials with their hands over their head, wearing those stripes as they skate by our jam refs. Then we are each assigned to one of our jammers going to follow them around the pack. Can get quite tiring, as you can imagine. Could give another shout out to Erie Roller, one of our sponsors, serving out the best brews and host out 15 here in the area. Also host our trivia. Keep an eye on our Facebook for the announcement of the next one of those. Keep on looking at the store, Boston store in downtown Erie. Without this, let's get a head 19 timeout. Erie Roller will be back out on the track. Hoping that section can get them some more points. With that whistle, Butch light off quick, but finding tough opposition from these dolls. Well, Naki is pushing to the front of that pack, finding themselves up against Jody's. You can see a no pack call there. What that means is our skaters are not close enough to each other. Jody's taking off a penalty, going to head to the box, leaving ERD down one blocker as Naki's coming around for this scoring pass. Dolls will be in control of this jam as Naki is our leading jammer. Big hit out there for Butch not to start off the head, hoping to either make their way through or get a quick pass to their Dan grabbing that star from Butch. Hoping to race Naki back around to this track. Whereas Naki's going to get that ball from the bench called off. Not worth letting Dan even risk picking up any points there. We need that 21-50 that's even got on the track wearing the star for balls of construction. We're making he's wearing the star for Erie Roller Derby. These two do seem to find each other quite a bit on the track recently. Both teams starting one blocker down. We have one each in the box. Jody is standing though, going to be the first blocker out of that box. Both tripods holding strong against these jammers, getting in each other's way just a little bit, but she's going to be able to find a way through on that inside line. Going to give us a little smile when she picks up that lead jammer status. But with a little hop, Fifi is also out of the pack, coming around hoping to pick up some points before teams can call this jam off. Nice bit of offense for the Erie Roller Derby, going to allow Teaser to roll through there, grab those 4 points and call that off just before Fifi is able to hit that back. We got 2 new jammers on the line. It looks like number 32, Jackrabbit, wearing the star from Erie Roller Derby. Number 66, Skata, wearing the star for the Dolls. Dolls starting just one blocker down, and we'll have that blocker out of the box in just a few seconds here. But ERD hoping they can make something happen while they are on the blocker. Looks like Skata is going to make it through, pick up that lead jammer status with Rabbit right behind them. Rabbit hoping to keep that pressure up, grab up some points before Skata can call this jam off. Big hit on mitochondria there from Skata, and going to call that off just before Jackrabbit's able to find their way in and pick up any points. Just a quick 2 points for the Dolls on that jam before we call. Back out for Erie Roller Derby wearing that star. She said a Naki out once again out for the Dolls. Both jammers look on that outside line with not much success. Fast pass there by Dan, but unfortunately going to find their way to the ground on that outside line. Not getting chased by Butch Light, but able to make it through on that inside line there. Going to pick up lead jammer status yet again. Naki coming in hoping to score some points while Dan is just hoping to get out of his pack on his initial pass. Naki coming up against a tough tripod here of Jenny Crash, Children's, and French All-star. Dan able to pass that helmet cover off, going to give it to Butch Light just before that jam is called. A quick 3 points for the Dolls before Naki calls that jam off. These are Fifi once again fighting each other out on this jam line. Blocking for ERD and the Dolls respectively. Jamming for ERD and the Dolls respectively. On the whistle, Caesar taking just a minute to assess the situation before getting into that back. We get a little contact with Fifi there. Fifi trying to find that outside line and finding a tough ERD line there. A couple of big hits from Caesar was able to slide out of the front of that pack, pick up that lead jammer status. Fifi fighting their way through there. Take As I said, when you're hit out in roller derby, you must go behind whoever hit you out, as well as anyone who was in front of you. She's going to pick up those full points for being just a little bit tired as she comes in for her second scoring pass. Finding a little bit of opposition from Fifi, but not quite committed to it. Still trying to make her way through on that initial pass. Finds herself sandwiched between Jenny Crash and Interstella. They're going to have to head to the back of that pack once again. Got her eyes on Cheeser, maybe thinking about a little jammer action there. Cheeser able to withstand that hit on the outside. Unfortunately, picking up a penalty for a forearm there, giving a Fifi a chance to get some points back as the Dolls are in the power play over here. As Cheeser was already a jammer, we are going to play out the last 30 seconds of this jam to completion. You see the Dolls coming in, trying to get a little bit of offense, take out those ERD blockers and get their jammer through. However, Godzilla able to find Fifi and knock her out. Once again, a little offense coming from the Dolls, but it looks like number 12, Godzilla, having Fifi's number this jam. Interstella finding her way onto the inside there, knocking Fifi out, and that is going to wrap up that 2-minute jam, just as Cheeser gets back out onto the track. I think 12 points for ERD on that jam, but the Dolls not letting them run away with it, grabbing 3 points for themselves after Fifi got out of that box. We've got number 626, Skada back out wearing the star for the Dolls, while number 14, Courtney Spears, going to be wearing that star for the Erie Roller Derby. Pretty able to just tiptoe through on that inside line, however, Skada is not far behind, hoping to get her out, it looks like. Giving us a little jammer-on-jammer action here. Not able to knock Skada down, going to grab up a couple of those points, hoping to pull it off before she gets in there. Skada taking a hit from those ERD blockers, but still able to pick up 2 points. It's going to be 3 and 2 points to ERD and the Dolls respectively on both of the incredibly close jam. You got Naki for the Dolls and Butch Light for ERD back out there wearing the star. Everyone's back in the penalty box. Both teams going to be starting with their full strength. Both skaters looking on that inside line, the outside line, but not able to find their way through. Both finding very strong tripods blocking them here. Dirty Dan, who was holding the pack, making sure everyone was just close enough, going to grab up a block there on Naki before Naki makes it through, but Butch is also out, hoping to make it around, pick up some speed, and grab up some points before the end of this jam. A little bit of offense coming in for the Dolls. Naki going by the jam on that inside line there. Big hit, and then a big hug afterwards. That's why I said, folks, if this is your first time watching roller derby, you're going to find that the camaraderie is not just within each team, but shared between the teams on the track. Once again, Erie Roller number 24 is going to be wearing the star for Erie Roller Derby. Going up against 2150 Fifi, they're going to be wearing that star for the Dolls. There's a quick clarification from the camera for our scoreboard as we get back into this jam. Fifi will find their way through that pack nice and quick and going to pick up lead jammer status for the Dolls. That's a problem, unfortunately, for her not quite finding her way through that pack she wants to make her way through that back turn block. She's able to find her way through on the inside line and I'll pick up that lead jammer status once again. Prior to Assassin running the skater back. She's been taking some big hits, but able to stay on the inside of the track here. A little bit of a hump there. Let's keep her in balance. Pick up those 4 points. Skata's still trying to make her way through on that first initial pass. Big hit from Derby Jam does take Skata down. Gonna have to come back in just behind this entire pack. She's finding her way through on that second square pass, picking up another 4 points. And another big hit from Dan gonna take Skata out on that inside line. Unable to run her back though as the Dolls are there to stop him. Strong ERD tripod, not making it easy for Skata to find her way through. She's giving a little bit of a juke there, going to grab up 4 more points. As the few skaters had enough of that, and then take that star off and look for the pivot possibly, but still open to get their way through. Get out on the outside by Hired Assassin. Hired Assassin then taken out by pivot, and that was 18. Skata able to make it through on that initial pass and put that star back on her head as Susan coming around. Or the scoring pass of this jam. Big hit from Teaser, going to find her way into the middle of that pack. Grab up 3 points there. Big jam for Teaser. 19 points. They do a whole off Skata. Not allowed any points to go to the Dolls out there. Number 14, Brittany Spears, will be wearing that star from Erie Roller Derby. Features have been knocking you out back on the track, jamming for the Dolls of Destruction. Knocking been able to pick up most of the lead jams while she's out on the track tonight. But Brittany making it through and grab up the lead jammer status for this jam. Looks like just a little bit of confusion on a possible penalty there. And Naki is going to head on out of that pack to the penalty box. They're going to sit for 30 seconds. Another important detail about penalties of roller derby is that they do not start until you make it to the chair. Britt fighting through some strong blockers. See her taking quite a few hits there from the Dolls, but able to make it through and pick up those 4 points. Coming around the track here, going to come through for the second scoring pass. Erie Roller Derby keeping that pack in the back by holding that Dolls blocker, allowing Brittany to find her way through that tripod and pick up another 4 points. The Dolls blocker, unfortunately, not able to make it through so far. Helping back that pack, but a big hit there is going to call. That's a force Brittany Spears to call off a jam. As it doesn't give the jammer or the Dolls was out of the box. Penalty box clear, both teams will be starting 5 skaters strong in the jam. Number 49, Butch Light wearing the star for the Erie Roller Derby. 2150 Phoebe wearing the star for the Dolls. Taking a big hit from Joey's there, but able to stay in the lines. But it looks like Phoebe unfortunately did pick up a penalty there. That's going to be a power jam for Erie Roller Derby. Butch Light with some fast feet able to find their way through on that inside line, pick up 4 points on that first scoring pass, coming back over the back for their second. Looking for a bit of offense from their Jackrabbit providing a little bit of offense there, able to make it through for Butch. He's going to pick up another 4 points. Unfortunately for the Dolls, their gym master put a little jam in the box, allowing Erie Roller Derby to just open from getting their jam forward. Butch picking up another 4 points as Phoebe is out of that box, back on the track, just in time to get in that jam. Fortunately for the Dolls, their jammer can make it out of the box, so they will be starting their jammer on the track. That will be the jam number 66, Stata, on the track, representing the Dolls as jammer. Number 24, a Bravo winner, starting with the roller derby. Fighting their way through, getting hit out to the inside, trying to make their way through this pack. Stata going to be able to make their way through it. She will pick up that lead jammer status, no problem, not too far behind. Dolls are going to have one blocker in the box, hoping that the offense can still be effective with just 3 blockers there. Stata finds hired assassin on the outside there to get hit out before calling that jam off. Dolls will be picking up 3 and 4 points respectively on that jam. About 2.5 minutes left, Erie Roller Derby 219. Dolls instruction at 97. Naki and Teaser matching up once again with the stars on their helmets. As this was going to take us into this jam. Both jammers looking on the outside line, unable to find the approaches, but Naki is able to find their way through. Big hit from Stealth will take them down, but not stop them from grabbing up that lead jammer status. Teaser out of the pack as the second jammer, but trying to put the pressure on Naki, hoping to get them to call the jammer off before they can pick up any points. Big hit from Dan, gonna push Naki out of bounds, force that call off. The Dolls and ERD picking up 2 and 1 point respectively in that jam. Wearing the star for the Dolls, number 14, Brittany Spears, jamming for ERD this jam. Both jammers looking to the middle of that pack, not quite finding any purchase as they shuffle back and forth. Brittany trying to make her way out of the front, some strong opposition from 86 Tenderizer, but she is able to make her way out, pick up that lead jammer status. As Fifi hoping to find her way through the middle of that pack, but hit out by number 24, a problem. Brittany just tiptoeing through on that inside line, grabbing her first 4 points on her first scoring pass. But Fifi able to make her way past number 3, hired assassin, on her initial pass, hoping to get some points before the end of this jam. Brittany coming in and then calling off quite quick there. Neither jammer picking up any points on that pass. Looks like the Dolls going to go on a quick timeout here. She's going to take a second to just take a little rest on the track. Dan going to join her for that one. As you can imagine, when you're jamming by the end of